Operation Game Night Podcast, where the mission objective is to play more board games. Put your battle rattle on and mount up. Let's start the show.
Be it.
What is up, everybody? And welcome to the Operation Game Night Podcast. I am your host, Travis Smith, joined as always by my co-hosts Clayton Gable and Jared Erickson. How you guys doing?
We're great.
Great.
Been living the American dream.
And today we have a very special episode. We have a PAX Unplugged review with our very own boots on the ground, boots on the moon, reporter from PAX U, Amanda from Empty Nest Board Mama. How you doing, Amanda?
Hi, guys. I'm great. How are you?
Doing
Thanks
well.
for having me.
Yeah. Jared, you want to introduce your guest?
I also have a stowaway of my own. Apologize, Amanda. I did spring this on the podcast group here.
The more the merrier.
This is my best friend here, Tanner Van Hevenhoven at V14. They call it.
Yeah,
V14.
Got a lot of nicknames.
That's a pretty sweet last name. Is that a real last name, Van Hevenhoven?
Yeah.
Did I pronounce it correct?
Yeah, pretty close.
Well, how would you pronounce it?
Van Evenhoven.
Van Even. There's more E in it.
Yeah, less E, more.
That
E.
shows you how close. That's how best friend level I am. I can't say his last name.
In Korea,
Use it in a
where
sentence.
we were, it was just D5.
Yeah, I can't use it in a sentence. He was D5. I was D3. So I was 2 Ds more than him, obviously, in stature, size.
Yeah.
Well,
it's good to have you, Tanner.
Thanks.
yeah, we have not only our first guest on the podcast, but we have our first 2 in the same show. So thank you guys for joining us. We are going to go ahead and debrief our weeks. Then we are going to fall in on the mission objective, which is our big PAX Unplugged special with Amanda. And then we are going to go over the fence and talk about what we've been doing outside of board gaming. So I'm going to start with Clayton because he's always my go-to. Clay, why don't you debrief your week for me?
Okay, so the week has been pretty slow on games. Mary and I did play Everdell on Wine Wednesday, but I feel like that gets a lot of airtime around here, and people are pretty familiar with it. So I'm going to go to a game I've been playing on Board Game Arena that I recently played in person for the first time not that long ago, and that's Architects of the West Kingdom.
Oh, nice.
So this is a Garfield game designed by S.J. McDonald and Shem Phillips. I think 2018, that's what I wrote down, but I don't necessarily trust my notes here. But anyway, Architects of the West Kingdom, you are architects trying to impress the king by constructing buildings and being virtuous, doing work on the cathedral. It's a worker placement game with a couple interesting twists that I very much enjoyed. So all the spaces on the board are pretty self-explanatory. You're gathering resources that are going to be used to construct these building cards that you have in your hand, and they will score you points at the end of the game. So when you go to a spot, that spot can hold as many people as you want. So these spaces to get wood, like as you keep putting more people in that wood space, the amount of wood you get from that space goes up. So the first time I go there, I get 1 wood. The 4th time I go there, I'll get 4 wood. So it's interesting. And the other players are kind of the enforcement on keeping track of when other players might be abusing spaces, because there is a spot on the board where they can go and it lets them round up workers from another space. So if I see Amanda's over there just raking in the clay, good.
Wow.
Yeah, she's raking in the clay.
Whoa.
I'm gonna go round up all those workers, and I get to keep them on my board, and she can't get them back. But I can take her workers to prison and drop them off there, and I get coins for each of the workers I drop off. So that's kind of how there's no rounds in the game. So all your workers that are out there stay out there until either someone else has picked them up and put them in prison, and then you can get them back, or you can round up your own workers by going to that spot and get them back. There's ways in the game to lose and gain virtue by doing naughty things or doing virtuous things. So the more virtue you have at the end, the better. The less virtue, the worse. But also, when you're less virtuous, you can skimp on your taxes. So there's certain places on the board where you have to pay money, and there's like a certain tax amount that you pay in addition to the money it costs. And if you are like down on the virtue track, you can start skipping on those payments and, you know, taking these actions that are more powerful. But so it's this interesting balance. It's a super smooth playing worker placement game. Each turn, you just place one worker, do your thing, and move on. Like I said before, there's no rounds and like cleanup phases. So it just hums along at a pretty quick pace. We played it with 4 players and it was done in like maybe just over an hour. So I was very impressed. Garfield games I'm kind of embarrassed that I've been playing games for so long and had never played one of these, because you see them everywhere. They're very recognizable artwork. They're always in these like trilogies. I don't know if they're trilogies or like sequences. There's the North Sea series. There's the West Kingdom series. No, I think there's the South Tigris series. So this was the first one I played, Architects of the West Kingdom. I think it's one of the more popular ones, but yeah, very much enjoyed it. On Board Game Arena, not as enjoyable, but I hesitate to say that because I don't enjoy many games on there. But it does seem like the actions are like so quick in real life. It's just that one worker. So waiting for everybody to do that, it just takes some more time than I would prefer. But yeah, the game ends when, there's this like, when you construct a building or work on the cathedral, you have to give up one of your workers for the rest of the game. So they get stored on this track. And once that track is filled up, the game ends. So you can try and play the tempo game of, you know, being the one to push the end of the game by completing buildings, but also you're not out there just raking in the resources from all these spots where you can keep compounding the amount of stuff you can get. So it's kind of an interesting push and pull about when you actually cash in and build your buildings versus, you know, keep raking those resources in. Jared,
Clay, I remember Clay. We played this one, right? And you were quite naughty from what I remember. Like to skip on your taxes.
Black market is
a whole elf.
That's right.
Yeah, not a good man. But anyway, that's my debrief for the week. Architects of the West Kingdom.
Does the game end once the cathedral is complete, or is it a certain number of rounds?
No, it's like when you take a construct action, you can either construct a building card in your hand, or you can work on the cathedral. And when you work on the cathedral, the further up you get, the better rewards you get, the more points you get. But it doesn't necessarily need to be done. It's just how many times any person has built and they've filled up that building track. So whether you're building your own cards or building on the cathedral, you're going to trigger the end of the game once that track is full.
Cool.
Yeah, it's like committing workers to the rest of the game. I got to commit this worker to building. Yeah. So you start off with like 20.
Yeah, you got a ton of workers,
a ton of them, but then slowly that stuff starts shrinking down because once you commit them and they're no longer in your rotation, there is good bonuses too related to those commitments from what I remember, and it's a very fun engine building ish resource gathering. I like it.
Yeah. And it's super. I mean, we all played it for the first time in person. It was me, Mary, Scott, and Brittany, and it was a breeze to teach. And again, it played super quick, so very much enjoyed it.
Nice. That sounds like it has some like cool decision making.
Yeah. There's a lot there for what it is.
Okay, well, Jared, and Tanner, why don't you debrief your weeks for us?
Yeah, sorry, I had to jump off screen to turn off the baby monitor because Jemmy is she's about to go down for a nap and she's having a conniption. But I felt so compelled to bring Tanner on today because we even brought a visual. I'm gonna pop that bad boy up. Sky Team.
Oh, we got to keep Sky Team.
It's in the blur, but there it is.
Excellent. Part of our 2024 OGN holiday gift guide.
Buy guide. Yeah, the gift guide. I heard the gift guide, and then Tanner, he's
I'm an addict.
He's in pilot training right now.
Uh-oh.
He's going to be a helicopter pilot.
Cool.
So he was a civil engineer with me in Korea, and then he saw the light. And so now he's over at Fort Novosel learning how to fly those helicopters. But Sky Team, I'm just doubling down on the buy guide, everybody. Absolute blast, top co-op board game out there where you're rolling die, trying to fill out this control panel. Is it very similar to a helicopter? I don't know how you feel about. Do you roll any die while you're flying helicopters?
We call ourselves the stick wigglers.
Stick wigglers. There's no wiggling of sticks. I mean, keep it PG, okay?
Not on the table, at least.
Not. There was no stick wiggling last night. I'll just say that. But it's pretty cool too. There's a bunch of different airfields you can land at. Each one has its own kind of like flavor to it. There's different things that you have to juggle. I guess similar to a pilot. Like you gotta there's some that you focus on the fuel. The fuel goes down. So you have to commit one of your die to slowing the amount of fuel you're using.
If you're going to like a cold weather location, the runway might be icy, so there's like extra brakes that you might need to apply throughout that roll. Yeah,
I just love like Tegucigalpa. I mean, I'm going to get on my soapbox here. I did fly into Tegucigalpa one time. That's capital of Honduras, and I remember specifically like you go in, you like bank super hard, and then you like land immediately. Like you feel like your wings are the pilot is like sideways, and then like within 5 to 10 seconds you're level and you're landing. And that's the exact same way that the game sets it up. Like the runway or like the path is a lot shorter, and you have to turn the plane side to side to like maneuver it around the mountains to be able to land it. So I mean, I had a blast.
Yeah, no table talk happens at all to balance out the dice.
Oh yeah,
because you're trying to play off what you think your partner has versus what you know they have based on the dice that you roll, and how you balance those dice affect what the plane is going to do that turn. So every step, there's a little bit of preparation going into each roll, so that way both pilots are on the same page to try to get the plane to the ground safely.
Yeah.
So I do love those thematic airfields that you're landing at, because they have Keflavik, I think it's Keflavik, or maybe it's Reykjavik.
Yep.
The one in Iceland. I've also been there, and the crosswinds are crazy, and you're like banking in and swerving and doing all this stuff because you're like over a active volcano and stuff. And when you're playing it, you can kind of like get a sense of that's how it would feel to land. But yeah, there's like crosswinds, and you got to land sideways and straighten it out at the last minute, and super thematic. I love that.
Tanner, does your pilot thing make you enjoy this more, do you think? Or
I definitely think so. There's definitely some relatability. I mean, so helicopters are definitely different than your fixed wing aircraft. So putting down landing gear and putting down flaps are different than the rotating blades on a helicopter. But before flying a helicopter, I got about 20 hours in a Cessna, and that is definitely a thing, is putting the flaps down. So but then if you're flying on a commercial airline, like you can see out the window the flaps coming up as you're getting closer to slow down. You can hear the landing gear come down out of the plane. So it's definitely super relatable. Like the Sky Team and the designers of this game definitely put a lot of thought into marrying it up with what an actual experience would be flying a plane to the ground.
Do you think we should start a petition with Scorpion Masks to have a helicopter expansion?
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be super cool.
Yeah. I know they just had their like small pack of Turbulent Skies or whatever it's called. I think the next one needs to be helicopters.
I would do like an ode to like the Vietnam era that made helicopters and the flying the Hueys around, and what made helicopters so famous is kind of a Vietnam era jungle rescue style. Nice. That would be a super cool theme for a game.
Comes with an 8-track with Fortunate Son on it.
Yeah. Dude, Operation Game Night could get into producing, right? I mean, is that a possibility?
Why not? Throwing like the design process as you guys are working towards this game that you come up with.
I don't know. Well, anyone got an in with Scorpion Mask?
Amanda?
I have a couple of their games.
I got other ins, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe next convention you can
Just
get
start
in
sending
Scorpion.
incessant emails to him. He'll respond eventually.
That's right.
It is amazing what they put in that box. Like that's like a $20-some game maybe.
Yeah.
And they pack so much gameplay into that thing, and it's such a good game. Great freaking game.
And the best part is we get to sign the flight log together. I can remember the good old days when Tanner was over and we were flying through the skies of Reykjavik and
Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah. So, and I did get a lot of good feedback. Tanner does not think I'm a good pilot, so I need to go back to pilot training. There were some decisions that I made. He questioned my authority. So.
He's got a child that wears him down throughout the day. So yeah, he wasn't firing at all cylinders last night when we were trying to buckle down and go tackle a black landing.
Somebody needs to check his crew rest.
I know.
Crew rest.
Yeah, we gotta get him 12 hours next time.
Yeah, excellent.
And no
anything else, guys?
No. That's Sky Team. That's Sky Team, baby.
Jared, congratulations on scoring 100 points in Lost Ruins of Arnak. That's unbelievable. You're a machine.
Yeah. The environment was very conducive. I was playing some guys. They knew what they were doing, but they were giving me good cards. I mean, everything just fell into place. But I hit the triple digits. I've done it, I think, once before, but it was good. It was a good time.
That's
excellent.
Crazy.
Nice.
I'm really vibing if I'm hitting like 50. I'm like, that's me top notch on Lost Ruins of Arnak. So that's unattainable. But
I can't wait. Next week I'm going to Savannah with my buddy. I talked about Dallin Tavoyan. We're gonna get to play Arnak live in person for the first time. Maybe I'll have to live stream it.
I think you probably should. Yeah. Instagram Live. We'll send you the login to the Instagram.
All right,
absolutely.
I do have it.
Cool.
So.
Amanda, let's hear what you've been playing this week.
So I came straight back from PAX Unplugged and went right back to work. So my plays are definitely down this week. I am a postal worker featuring the postal service here. I'm actually at work today, doing like 10 to 12-hour days, but I did get a chance to break away last night. I had my local game night. We meet on the second Saturday of every month. And last night I played Wingspan, For Sale, and Wondrous Creatures.
Excellent.
And I'll debrief on Wondrous Creatures a little bit more. That one just came out this year. It was designed by Yaum CW and published by Bad Comet, who also released Life of Amazonia last year, if you guys are familiar with that one. It's got some amazing artwork by Sophia Kang. And basically you are a crew captain navigating this hex tile board where you're placing your crew and gathering resources. And the really interesting mechanism about that is you can either gather the resources or take these creature cards from the wilderness. So it's that duality that you can either take the resources or take the cards to your hand. You can only play the cards from your hand. You can't just take them straight from the wilderness and play them. So basically the object of the game is to be discovering this land and creating the world's most the best creature reserve. And just the artwork is really great. The table presence is huge. It's a really big board. We had 3 people and we were playing on a 6-foot, folding table, and we were kind of running out of space there with just the 3 of us. So it took just under 2 hours with the teach, and it's got a pretty beefy rule book, but I think going forward, it definitely wouldn't take that long. Really enjoyed it. Definitely recommend Wondrous Creatures.
Yeah, that sounds like, is it like a heavy game? I don't even know what this game is rated for weight.
No, I think it's rated like a 1.83, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that's right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, mine too. Absolutely. So it took a little bit longer, like I said, just with the teach, but I would say it's a light midweight game.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with it.
That's great. You played all those games when you game that. You got Wingspan, a new Wondrous Creatures game, and For Sale.
For Sale, yep.
You guys go hard. That's awesome.
We started about 4:30, and I think got home about 10, so like 5-ish hours, 5.5.
Nice.
Do you have food? Who plans the food?
Yes. So the host usually gives us like a theme. It just says like, I'm making this, and then everybody else brings, whatever. So last night, the host and hostess, they provided pizza. They just ordered Little Caesars, and then everybody brings, usually it's about 20 people. Last night I brought a chili cheese dog cornbread casserole.
Oh,
dang.
Excellent.
But there's lots of sweets, garlic bread. Everybody kind of chipped in. Everybody brought something. Yeah, it's a good time.
Tell me they used the pizza. Did they use the pizza portal? Do you know about the pizza portal?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mailman Gary and I are big fans of the pizza portal. Probably at least twice a month.
Yeah,
like our Friday night go-to.
Well, with your ends with Little Caesars, you got to get us a sponsorship. Brought to you by Little Caesars.
I don't have one there. I can get you the Hardee's hookup, but
perfect.
Not the pizza portal.
Excellent. I love me some Hardee's. Okay, what else did you play?
Just that For Sale and Wingspan. That was last night.
Oh, okay.
At Pax, I can talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, we'll save that for the Pax discussion.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm going to go really quick. I'm going to cede most of my time because I've missed Jared for the past couple of weeks and we have Amanda on. But I got to play Everdell Duo, which just showed up a couple days ago. Everdell Duo is it says 2025 release. I went to the future and brought this back. It's going out to backers right now. Everdell Duo is a game by Starling Games. It is a 2-player only version of Everdell. I say 2-player only. It has a solo mode as well. I did not play the solo mode, but it looks pretty cool. Everdell Duo is just like a condensed version of Everdell. It's a worker placement game where you are putting your worker down to get resources that you're then using to buy cards to put into your city, whether they're constructions or critters, and you're building out this little tableau that earns you end-game scoring points. Everdell Duo is played over 4 rounds that mimic the different seasons of the year. So you go through fall, winter, spring, summer, and then at the end of those 4 rounds, the game's over. You total up all of your points, and whoever has the most points wins. This game is pretty cool because it moves the game along in such a way where you can actually limit the actions that your other person can take. So, like, if I put a worker to get berries or whatever, which is one of the resources, I put the worker down, and then it moves this little sun token forward on the track. And the track is lined with, I think it's 10 different cards that are from a draw pile. And those 10 different cards are like the meadow, which you can draw from to add to your hand or to play to your city in front of you. You can only draw cards from the meadow if they are around either the sun token or the moon token. So as these 2 tokens move along the track, based on the actions that you're taking, it might limit the decisions that you can make or the cards that you can get. So like if I put a worker, the sun moves forward. If I play a card, the moon moves forward. If I draw a card from the meadow or the draw stack, then I can pick which one of those moves forward. If that token moves all the way to the other side of the board, so like you have
I apologize. There's that going
malfunction.
You can't take this guy anywhere. I'm telling you.
Pull in a China shop.
So I think each person has 3 workers that they can place. There's six spaces along the track. So once everybody places their workers, that sun token is all the way to the right. And then the round ends once both the sun and moon are at the end of the track. So you can kind of play this game where you can limit their choices. If you know that they're saving up resources for a specific card, you can hurry and like move that token forward to eliminate their choice to draw those cards from the meadow. So it's pretty cool. There's a lot of bang in this box for like $20. I think this game is $20. It comes with a 2-player only mode, a solo mode, and a cooperative mode. And I have not explored those other modes yet. I'm looking forward to it. But if you have a loved one that you play with and you want like a little one-on-one time, you want to play a game together without busting out the big Everdell box, this is a great option. And it's super easy to pull out and play. I think it says 30-minute playtime. I think that's probably about right. We learned it and played it in maybe 45 minutes. So, yeah, Everdell Duo is a great addition for all Everdell or worker placement lovers.
Dang, Travis. I don't know, man. I just like the regular Everdell so much at 2 players. Like Mary and I play that all the time at 2 players. And I'm just like, how could it be better? But I am a sucker for every game they've redesigned as a 2-player only version. I usually get it. And then Wingspan's the one where I got Wingspan Asia. I played it with Jared once and he whooped me. And that's like the 2-player version of Wingspan. I was like, okay, I'm not playing that no more. So now I just play regular Wingspan at 2 players. So I don't know if this would fall in the same boat as that, where I would just ultimately prefer the comforting of Everdell, which I know and love.
Yeah.
See,
yeah, I mean,
for the listener though, Clay doesn't really care too much about winning or losing. So I don't feel like it's because I whooped you, quote unquote, whooped you. But you're always down to get a good game on there. So maybe it's just something about the play mode that you don't quite like.
I think it just added a little too much.
Yeah, there was a lot of like little weird interaction with like, I can't remember exactly how it works, but
there's that little map with like the yin and yang tokens on it. But yeah, anyway, Travis, if you had a rebuttal to my
here's my rebuttal.
Yes.
My base version of Everdell is the Everdell Complete Collection, which is this big, gigantic, like 18-inch by 24-inch box. This thing takes up 3 shelves by itself. It's gigantic.
About 300 pounds.
It's about 300 pounds. It comes with like a nice wooden tree that you can build and everything. That's great. I love it. Super cute.
Gorgeous.
Everdell Duo is like in a nice tiny box, and you can just whip that out and play it without having to hurt your back lifting the Everdell Complete Collection. So that's my argument for Everdell Duo. It's $20. I couldn't say no. So I'm happy to have it. We're definitely going to give it a try again. Rachel whooped me in Everdell Duo. She smoked me so bad. So looking forward to playing that again.
I'll probably buy it. Let's be honest.
I got it too. I got it on the Kickstarter and I was shocked how fast it came.
Yeah.
It was one of the
fast
fastest turnarounds for a Kickstarter I've ever had.
I think they launched it like since we started this podcast, I think like August, maybe.
Whoa.
And it came, I think, last week for me.
Yeah. So, super quick turnaround. And I love me some Everdell. So happy to have it. All right. Are we ready to move on to the mission objective?
Let's do it.
All right.
Oh,
Tanner,
no.
I'm dying with these little banners at the bottom. You're killing
Listen,
me.
I have too much power. Travis specifically told me not to do it, but I couldn't help it.
Pre-show meeting.
I'm ready.
All right. So, Amanda, this is your show. You are our reporter on the ground and in the field for PAX Unplugged. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the history of PAX Unplugged and how you got involved?
So for anybody who isn't aware, PAX Unplugged started PAX. It was started by Penny Arcade, which was a webcomic and editorial, basically just about all things nerdy. And they have expanded and now started PAX, these celebrations of gaming and gaming culture. And it takes place annually in Boston, Seattle, Melbourne, Australia, and Philadelphia. So the East and West, the Boston and Seattle, are primarily like Comic-Con video game kind of focused, and they started Pax Unplugged in Philadelphia in 2017 after seeing the actual tabletop, like that selections, you know, the more games, the vendors, things like that was growing. So they found kind of that the unplugged version of the nerd world needed to be focused on. And 2004, when they started just the PAX events, there was 1,337 people at the very first event. And last week in Philadelphia, there was somewhere in the neighborhood of 40,000.
Whoa!
So,
nice.
yeah, it's a lot. Not quite Gen Con big, but still very big. And the real mission statement of the PAX team is to create an event where everyone feels safe, respected, and valued. And they really, really did a great job with that as far as inclusivity, featuring some BIPOC designers and game publishers. They had the PAX Together room. There's a lot to talk about. So that's kind of the history of PAX. There's a lot to see and do. It features an exhibition hall where they have vendors, demos. They have some concerts most evenings. I can't for the life of me remember who was there because I didn't go. But then there's some panels. They've got a lot of guest speakers, autograph sessions, and then a gigantic free play area, the biggest one I've ever seen, with a huge library of over 1,000 games and tons of tournaments. They've got Magic tournaments, Lorcana tournaments. What's the other game? The other card game?
Pokemon.
Star Wars.
No, that wasn't
Rebellion.
it. That wasn't it. It wasn't freaking Charizard.
Hey,
What's wrong with
you
Charizard?
leave Charizard out of this.
Yeah, you
Charmander.
about to Blastoise your ass out of here.
Oh. So I spent the majority of my time in the expo hall. I was volunteering to demo with the Doomlings team, which was absolutely amazing. They were a lot of fun to work with. Everybody familiar with the Doomlings game? Have you guys all seen it, heard it, played it?
I wanted to hear your pitch on what Doomlings is,
okay.
and because I saw your work in there, I've seen the name, but I have little idea of what it is. So if you could,
so it's
please.
a super fun, just card game, and the object of the game is to score the most points before the end of the world. And the way you do that is by playing traits from your hand over different rounds that are called ages. And each age, you're going to flip a card, and it's going to have its own little rule. So say the first one is players cannot play a purple trait. So there's 4 different colors and a colorless one. So one round, everybody takes a turn. Then the next age, and we're going to flip the card, the next one, and that's going to be a catastrophe. So that's going to be a bad negative, and it'll say like -1 to your gene pool, which is your hand limit, and discard 1 for every blue trait you have played, something like that. And then once you flip over 3 catastrophes, the game is over, the world ends, and you add up the points and see who wins.
That's awesome.
Hey,
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, super cute artwork. I'm lobbying hard for one of the traits to be postal. So keep an eye out for that. And hashtag postal to the Doomlings team. Tell them you want to see the postal Doomling.
Who designed this game?
Doomlings is the company. It was designed by 2 guys from Germany, Andres and...
I was trying to think. I thought there was a game designed by Eric Lang that was kind of more mass market focused, and I thought that this might be what it was, but I guess not.
They're very cute and round, all these little Doomlings.
Yes, very round.
That does appeal to a round boy like me. Yeah.
So Amanda, how did you get involved with volunteering for this booth at PAX?
So there is a company called Envoy that I do demos for occasionally. I just got hooked up with them. I was in my once I moved to Pensacola, Florida about 2 years ago from Wisconsin, and I had nobody here, no group, and I was trying to find board game people. And I found there was somebody that was doing demos in the area, and I talked to him, found out about this company, Envoy, and they basically hook you up with publishers and look for volunteers to go to events and demo, work the booths, stuff like that. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Is this your first PAX U that you've been to, or have you been to it before?
It was my first big board game convention. I went to Dice Tower East in Orlando in June, and that one is definitely more like a play focused.
Yeah.
Not so much the like sales and demo-y kind of thing. I was there with Devere demoing cities at that event, but it's a lot smaller scale. It's only about 1,800 people.
Yeah, we went to Dice Tower West 2 years ago now.
Yeah,
and that was a lot of fun. That library was insane. They're like rent, check out, and play games.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome. So I'm glad to hear that PAX U was a success. What else? What other games do you want to highlight from PAX U that you saw?
So I was going to talk a little bit about my procurements and how those all came to be, because it's not just regular standard sales. I only bought 2 games in the expo hall, and I'll talk about those in a little bit. But the other ways that you can procure games at PAX Unplugged would be through the math trade, which I kind of had Clay help me with a little bit, because he's
I think you had it all figured out. If anything, I probably got in the way.
No,
don't get Travis started on math trades, though.
No,
hate it.
You're not a fan.
I mean, I love the concept of it. It's brilliant. But the system that you have to go through to conduct a math trade is terrible. Bad.
I will agree with you 100% on that, because I almost did what I think you told me you did, was forget to actually submit the actual games. Like, you had it all done, and then there's like a submit button, and literally I was in like the 11th hour looking at it. I'm like, I should probably hit the submit button. Yeah, it's archaic obvious and awful, but the math trade, I got some really great games out of it. I actually got Tapestry, Stonemaier Games, which I'm so excited to see on the table. I'm playing that actually right now with Travis on BGA, and he's killing me. But
thanks for the invite, Amanda. Thanks. Thanks for the invite.
No, that was my pity invite for Travis, since you guys didn't invite him.
It's about time.
Yeah, so it's just us two.
That works.
You guys aren't. You're not allowed.
Yeah, we started up another game with Jared, Mary, and I. So.
Rude.
No, Travis is in that one too.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, and it's been his turn for like 3 days. So.
I'm all readied up. I've done anyways. Amanda, what else did you get?
Yeah, my BGA. I have to apologize to everybody that I've been playing with, just because of the work schedule, the PAX schedule. I'm like, just boot me if you have to. I'm so sorry. But in addition to the math trade, which I was a big fan of, the outcome, again, not so much the how it works, that's stupid, but was the BGG virtual game market. So if you go on Board Game Geek, they have a geek list where everybody lists what they're selling. And instead of having just a big open market, everybody makes their purchases in advance. Like you just have it ready. You know what you're going for, instead of just having, everybody bring everything. I think with the travelers, it works a lot better to know that you are going to sell everything that you bring, not that you're bringing stuff and then also taking more home that you were not expecting to have to take back with you. So that was awesome. I, in total, brought home 26 games.
Holy smokes.
So you'll have to check out my Instagram and the big, what do you guys call it? That big camo bag.
The deployment bags?
Yeah.
Full of them.
Yeah, you'll have to check out my Instagram. I took my 4 games for the math trade in it and brought home 26, including Tapestry, which, as you know, is a big boy.
That's big.
It's big.
And what were some other big ones I got? Chai Deluxe, that's a big box. Vagrant Song, that's a big box. Yeah, so that bag is a banger. It's padded. It weighed in at 71 pounds, but I got them all home. I got them all home. Thank God.
Could you just mail it to yourself? Do you get like a discount being in the post office?
Do you get a discount in the military? Come on.
Yeah, free bombs for you. Yeah.
Yeah, mine's buy one get one full price. That's the postal service discount.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it's all.
You don't like show up with like a badge.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh wait, it's my military one to get on.
Oh, excellent.
Dang.
Get on the NAS. There's the other one. But yeah, so that the math trade and the virtual market were awesome. I mean, the games that I got from the virtual market, I spent way less. Most games were $5, $10, $15, $8
nice.
And a lot of them are still new and shrink. A lot of them are just, immaculate, played once, they're getting rid of it. So definitely recommend looking into BGG for all of your board game procurement needs. Not only do they have math trades monthly, they have auctions. People are just putting their stuff up. Yeah, it's a really good way to find a lot of good sales on BGG. Nice. So, like I said earlier, my stories tend to take the scenic route. So let's rein it back in and talk about PAX. I'm going to rein myself in.
Yeah, we're not good about that either.
What were some of the more like popular booths? What did you see people flocking to in the demo or exhibition halls?
So I met up with a lot of other Instagram content creators. And one of the top events or things was the Thunderworks booth, and they were playing Citizens of the Spark.
Oh yeah,
that one I backed on Kickstarter. It just ended, I think, last month. Shout out, they are from Wisconsin. Thunderworks Games. They're also known for cartographers.
There's a theme here today.
Smart people out there.
Books.
Yeah, smart people from Wisconsin. Smart people leave Wisconsin because it's cold.
It's accurate.
But yeah, Thunderworks was really big. All Play had a huge presence.
Always.
And all their little small box games. I did purchase a couple of those for my Secret Santa. I got her Switchbacks and one of the Kabuto Sumo expansions.
Okay.
Some of the best people that I met, I would say, are self-publishers. So they are the ones that just have, like, not to say that the big designers and the big publishers don't love games as much as everybody else, but when you see like these people self-publishing and just putting their whole heart and soul into their company, like, I love that for them. I'm so excited, and I just really want to support those people just as much as the big box games that we know and love. So just a couple of shout outs to them. I talked to Clay about this yesterday, but Hootenanny Games, if you guys haven't heard of them, they're definitely a family-friendly game company. I met Alex, the one of the co-owners of Hootenanny Games, at the math trade virtual market pickup. He was just walking past and he stopped me and said, "Hey, can you tell me what's going on here?" Because people are just walking around with like their BGGA or BGG names on signs so that you can find each other to do your tradesies and stuff. And he's like, what is going on here? So I explained to him what we were doing there, that was the math trade meetup. And so he explained to himself that he was Alex of Hootenanny Games, and they are super fun, family-friendly games. One of them is Disco Island Escape. And that
awesome.
one is, and it's got like holographic, very colorful. It's basically lemurs that are dancing off of a mountain, which turned out to be a volcano. And they are, just dancing their way to safety. And it is super fun. There's no text on any of them, so it's easy for people who may be colorblind, or also to get the kids involved. So that was a lot of fun. And then one other one I wanted to shout out was Paleo Vet by Absurdist Productions.
Oh yeah, I've heard of them.
Basically that one. Yeah. And Paleo Vet, if you look it up on BGG, is just one word, Paleovet. But you are basically the doctor at the animal amusement park, trying to keep them safe and healthy, so working on the dinosaurs. And that one I really like because it has a solo mode as well. Okay, I'll get it there. Thanks.
Post office calls.
Got to be the boss lady in a few minutes. But yeah, that was my couple of shout outs of people that I met. Also, I played this crazy party game on steroids called Space Off. That one is going to be another self-published one next year. It was just chaos. It was a combination of dexterity games, brain teasers, lots of just player interaction. There was one point where I had drew a card where I had to continue to dance. Me and a person from the other team, we both had to just like keep moving while doing these brain teasers and dexterity things. And like basically the first person who stops loses. So that it was chaos and just so much fun. Typically I'm not a party games girl, because usually it's just me and my husband, Mailman Gary. So we don't really Mailman Gary. But yeah, look for Space Off. Coming next year, 2025. And last but not least, actually I have two more things. I met Chris Porter from Chris Couch Games, and he released Kraken Skulls last year. And then next year in February, he's putting out on Kickstarter Holiday Hills. Might have seen some ads for that one. It is a Christmas tree decorating holiday game. It's like the little 3D printed trees and decorations, and your elves decorating the neighborhood or the city. And there's different restrictions and stuff like that. But that one is super cute and a lot of fun. And he was awesome, Chris Porter.
Nice.
Very cool. Did you have one other shout out, or those are the last two?
Oh yeah, I do have one. It was a big one. So I had the absolute honor and pleasure to sit down one-on-one with Paul Solomon.
Ooh, very nice.
He is the designer behind Stamp Swap and Honey Buzz.
Dang.
And we sat down. We had breakfast at Panera one morning, just a little meet and greet. It was great. He is taking over for Gamehead Games next year, and they are releasing 5 different small box games. All of them are going to be like 6x6x2. And they're releasing them like back to back next year. It's going to be like a banger year for Gamehead Games. And I got to take a couple of my content creator friends, and we played all 5 of those games with him. So we got a little sneak peek. One of them is postal themed, which is super exciting. It's called First Class Letters. It's a fun little word game. You're going to shake some dice, and there'll be one letter that you have to use, one that you cannot use, and then like the bonus couple of letters, and you're trying to make words in alphabetical order. It's like a roll and write.
Okay.
So that one's going to be, and then another one, I don't remember all 5 of them, but the other one that I remember was Trinket Trove. That one has artwork by Sandera Tang, who did Flamecraft.
Cool. Yeah.
And Manny Varga. So that one was like your little mice, and every night you go out into the world and you collect little trinkets, like a thimble or a feather or just like real world things, and then you're trading them with each other to create your little habitat. And that one was super cute too. So we played those 2 with Paul Solomon, and super excited for those to come out and to see what else he comes up with next year. He did tell us about a couple other things in the shoot, but we're not allowed to talk about those yet. So next year's going to be a big year for Gamehead Games, and I'm super excited about that.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. So if you are listening to this and you might be curious about going to a board game convention like PAX Unplugged, I would highly recommend it. I've been to Dice Tower West, and I've been to Essen Spiel. Those have been the 2 that I have been to, but I really wish I would have known more about PAX U when I was stationed in New Jersey, because I definitely would have made it to that. But I was not super into the hobby then. I was like collecting board games here and there, but yeah, that sounds great. I will definitely put that on my bucket list to attend. Maybe we'll all get together.
We're going next year. I mean, I'm going to be there every year forever now because I'm moving back to Pennsylvania. So I'm just a 2-hour drive from Philadelphia. So there's literally no barrier for me going there. Well, maybe there will be because I will be unemployed.
There might be a minor, just because the next year they made it the week before Thanksgiving.
Ooh.
And it's also the same weekend as the Philadelphia Marathon. So it's going to be a challenge next year.
Okay.
So
they can't stop me. Maybe I'll do the marathon too.
There you go. Be throwing
straight from the marathon.
Yeah.
Do it.
OGN meetup at PAX U next year.
Love it. I'm into it.
All right.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for giving us the scoop on PAX Unplugged. We really appreciate it.
I forgot my prop.
Oh, yeah.
What was that?
So this is another one. This is one of the 2 games I bought brand new from the Expo Hall. This is Tether. It's by How to Steam Broccoli.
Yeah.
Nice. That's great publisher.
This one is super fun. It's just a tiny little card game, and they have they're 2-sided. It's basically like 1991 on the cards. It's a 2-player game where one player is tethering their astronauts horizontally, the other one's doing it vertically. So you're playing against each other with these like 2-sided not 2-sided, but double cards. It's super fun. Yeah,
nice. That sounds great.
I'm glad we got the prop.
Got the prop in there.
I'm sorry, I'm such chaos, you guys.
That's okay. I know that there's a lot to digest at these conventions, and you have condensed it and distilled it down for us, so we appreciate it.
And we like chaos here.
We do like chaos. We got a lot of chaos going on.
We invited Jared on the podcast, so
that's right. I was literally talking about that.
I don't know how I was able to stay quiet for so long.
I bite my tongue. I was going to ask what's the food situation like. That's my final and only question.
So there are on-site food vendors
food trucks?
There in the convention hall. They have like
Philly cheesesteaks.
I honestly didn't really eat while I was there. It was so busy. It was just chaos. That's my middle name, really. I did have Tom's Dim Sum, which is right outside. Excellent. That was amazing. And then just a funny sidebar story. We were trying to go back there the next night, and the line was out the door. And so me and one of my content creator friends, Adam from Tabletop Vibes, shout out to Adam, we were looking for someplace to eat. And this couple just came along, and they're like, "Hey, you looking for somewhere to eat?" And we're like, "Yeah, we'll pretty much eat anything at this point." And he's like, oh, I know this great, other dim sum place. So he's like, follow me. So we just started following this couple around the streets of Philadelphia. And then we get to that dim sum place and the line is even further out the door than the first place. And so he's like, okay, how do you guys feel about Korean food? And we're like, again, we will eat anything at this point. So he takes us back down the block where we came, and then we go in this building and like past a vape shop, up a creepy stairwell. And we're
sounds like Korea.
Oh yeah, this is what we get for following. Yeah, and then we had the best Korean food we've ever had. We walked right in. There was nobody waiting. We sat down. Adam had never had Korean before. He thought that the tofu was chicken, and I just let him believe that.
Nice.
But we had a great time, and it was definitely an adventure.
Never go with a content creator to a third location. That's your PSA. Excellent. Awesome. Well, thanks for the rundown. That was great. Do we want to go over the fence?
I live over the fence, Travis.
Let's go over the fence. Clayton, what have you been doing outside of board gaming?
I saw Wicked again.
Again?
Oh my gosh, it was so good.
Oh my God. I
cried. I cried too many times.
Was that Amanda? Oh.
I haven't even seen it once yet.
Oh, well, you need to. It's so good. We took the kids this last time, and they loved it as well. So big hit in round 2. Even better, I think, than the first time. I appreciated it more. Freaking Glinda and Elphaba there. I might get their tattoos on my chest. I'm a Wicked fanboy now. And also, over the fence, Mason had his at this little Peak Improv Theater in Colorado Springs. He got his teacher was like doing it as Santa for this Christmas extravaganza comedy sketch show. And so they needed a kid to play young Scrooge. And he knew Mason was a munchkin, well esteemed in his previous production. So he asked if he would do it. And Mason was like, sure. So we went and saw that last night. It was crazy. It was like a small room, like 20, 30 people can get in this little improv room. It was pretty hilarious. Mason delivered his lines. It was fun. But I mean, I want to support more local things like that. Like these in-person productions always impress me, even if it's just a rinky-dink little room with a bunch of people. But they're passionate about it and it's fun. And, I always have a good time seeing that stuff. So support your local game stores and support your local theater.
Excellent. You are a full-on theater dad now. It is sign.
I still haven't seen you dance your dance.
Here I go.
Your Munchkin dance live. Do it live.
Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do the whole thing.
I don't think you'll ever forget that dance.
I won't. I did it so many times.
Theater dads never forget their first theater dance.
Anyway, I'm going back in the wire. So somebody else.
Jared, what you been doing outside of board gaming?
So this week, luckily, I finished all my homework. I turned in my papers, and I could finally enjoy myself. So I called up my boy Tanner here, and my babysitter. Their whole family came over last night. We got out the uni, started slinging the pies. Was an awesome night. We busted out Wavelength. Okay.
Oh,
it was like $12 at Target. I don't know how it happened, but
it's a great game.
They have great, like their kids are awesome. Tanner joined the girls team. We won. He won.
No, we didn't.
Naturally.
We almost had a come from behind victory.
They almost did.
Dang.
So that was a blast. Anytime I can get the uni out is a good time. But did we lose Amanda?
I think we lost her. She might pop back in. Who knows?
Yeah.
I have to send search and recovery. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta get in the postal car. Start
but
delivering all these Christmas gifts.
I also saw Wicked this week, and it blew my mind. IMAX. Yeah. It was phenomenal. So Gemma, she got a little Glinda and Elphaba shirt, and then we realized that's her initials. Gemma Erickson, GE.
Oh,
Boom. So
Jared.
You wouldn't know if you didn't see.
I don't know what you guys are doing.
Yeah, well, you should.
So
I'll get there.
Tanner, you do anything over the fence?
Yeah, pretty special week this week for me. Got to do part of pilot training, especially helicopters, is getting your first solo.
Nice.
So this week on Thursday, I got to fly from our home airport at Dothan Regional, and then got to fly to 2 other airfields, and then back. I was the only one in the helicopter.
Wow.
Super surreal experience. Hard to believe, especially about 4 months ago. Never would have thought that I'd be doing something crazy like this. I mean, it was going to happen eventually, but still hard to wrap your head around. So
it's a big milestone.
Got to continue to think about it and how thankful I am for this opportunity. And but yeah, super special event for me this week.
That's great. Congratulations.
Awesome. That's huge. Yeah.
Round of applause.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Well, I have
Travis, what about you?
Hold on. Amanda might be back.
Oh my gosh, here she comes.
I added her to the stage. That's what I have to do. I don't know if you guys see that, but I add people to the stage. So I can kick you off the stage too.
Oh, so don't be talking too much crap.
Profanities.
Yeah. Well, Travis, why don't you...
this little card that tells me no F words. So I don't know if it's helped very much, but
I haven't heard any today.
So I had a super weird week. My phone just decided to die on me, so I had to go out and search for a new phone and lost all my contacts, and have spent the past couple of days trying to recover my life because everything is connected to your phone nowadays. Then we went up and did a couple Christmas markets and did some really magical Christmas markets that were up in northern Germany and the Netherlands and stuff. So that was pretty awesome. But I do want to shout out 2 video games that I've been playing that have been awesome. One is Indiana Jones at the Great Circle. Just came out on Xbox Game Pass. So it's like free to all Game Pass users. And it's like playing an Indiana Jones movie. The opening like tutorial level is the like golden idol from Raiders of the Lost Ark, to include like running from the big ball that's running behind you and stuff. But it's all a first-person Indiana Jones game where you are beating up, not Nazis, but fascists. But you're beating up fascists. And it opens up in like the Vatican. The first level is like the Vatican. It's got all sorts of like environmental storytelling and puzzles and all sorts of stuff. Tons of cool stuff to find and little secrets. And plus you can just pick up anything and turn it into a weapon. You can like pick up a baseball bat. You could pick up an umbrella. You could pick up, I beat up a fascist with like a fly swatter. So that's always fun.
It's my favorite way to beat up fascists.
Yeah. I think Troy Baker does the voice for Indiana Jones, and he is like almost spot on. He is so close to being just like Harrison Ford. So it's been super impressive. Ratings have been through the roof. It's been great. The other one that I want to shout out is called Marvel Rivals, and it is like a Marvel skinned Overwatch team hero shooter. And so it just launched. It's free. You can go in and buy it, and then you pay for skins and stuff if you want cosmetics. But it launched with like 20 some different characters, all your favorite Marvel characters: Hulk, Iron Man, Emma Frost, Wolverine, Magneto, all these like Hawkeye, Black Widow, you name it, they're in there. And the cool thing about this one is it's a lot of like Overwatch type objectives where you're pushing a little cart through the map or you're defending areas and stuff. But then they have this cool thing where if you're standing next to a certain character while you're playing as a character and they have some sort of like relationship, you get bonuses. So like if I'm playing as Winter Soldier and standing next to Groot or Black Widow or like other gun wielding Winter Soldier, whatever, and we're standing near each other, like we all have unlimited ammo. Or if I am playing as Spider-Man, I'm standing next to Venom, I get Venom powers. So they do this cool like symbiotic type relationship between the characters. That's really cool. So that's my and I fell down the stairs the other day. That's
Are you okay there, big guy?
It's a little embarrassed. Yeah,
Baby Gwen wasn't anywhere to be found, right? You weren't holding Gwenny?
I was.
Oh.
I was. Yeah. I my dad instincts kicked in, and I had to like dive on the floor and like turn and cradle. And so I basically, it wasn't like I tumbled down the stairs, but I fell down like 3 stairs and basically like fell down 3 stairs straight onto tile, like on my back because I was trying to save her. So I'm a little banged up, but doing okay. Everybody's okay.
That's good to hear.
At our age, we're not as nimble as we once were.
Okay. So you end up with a broken hip.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Dang.
So, anyways, that's my over the fence. And Amanda, you are back. Go over the fence and wrap us up. What have you been doing?
All right. So, other than board games, all I'm doing is working. I'm at the office 10, 12 hours for the next 3 weeks. And other than that, we did get a Christmas tree. So it's in the living room. It does not currently have any lights or ornaments. Those are TBD. Christmas. He has his exodus from the Air Force.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here we got to get it all decorated up before he comes. My daughter in college in Wisconsin will not be joining us. She's going to Thailand to work at an elephant sanctuary for Christmas.
What?
So,
Nice.
I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Mom works a lot of overtime so she can travel the world.
Good for you.
Yeah. Well, and thank you, postal workers, for your service because this is a crazy time of year.
I was going to say, I actually got an amazing package yesterday from our fearless leader, Travis. I got a box full of games.
Oh my!
Blew my mind. That was supposed to be my over the fence. I got too excited about pizza, obviously. But thanks, Travis. Spreading the holiday cheer via our friends from the Postal Service. I'm super excited for the guerrilla marketing. I want to get that thing out. Yes.
Nice.
Cool.
The troops weren't quite ready for it yesterday, but we're going to get it on the board. We're going to get it on the table.
I feel like if anybody had an opportunity to play a game like that and get really into it, it was going to be you guys. So that's why I figured it was a good gift for you.
Time.
Yes.
Awesome. Anybody got anything else? Or are we ready
Clay
to wrap this up?
Clay should be sending some packages to you guys as well.
Yes, I do have one en route to Travis. I've got Jared's in the process of making. I just need a couple more things for it. But yeah, there is some special treats from Amanda in there as well.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Gosh.
So excited. Well, Amanda and Tanner, thank you guys for joining us on episode 18 of the Operation Game Night podcast. Amanda, where can people find you if they're looking for you on the internets?
At the post office. No, I'm just kidding. No, you can find me on Instagram and occasionally TikTok at Empty Nest Board Mama. On TikTok, it's actually Empty Nest Board Ma'am because I ran out of letters. So no last A on there. But that is definitely my Be Real blooper material on TikTok. So if you're bored and looking for a laugh, that's where you should go.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Excellent. Yeah, everybody should go out and follow Amanda. She puts out good content. If you love board games, she is one to follow. So thank you for joining us, Amanda. Thank you for giving us a rundown on PAX U. And thanks for your time, even though you are working at the postal office. Tanner, where can people find you on the internet?
I keep a pretty
you don't
low
have to.
profile.
It's okay.
Yeah, but if you're driving south through southeastern Alabama and you see some helicopters flying around, look up. I might be in one of them.
There you go.
Awesome.
Tanner at airforce.mil.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you all for being
land
here.
on over in Pensacola. We'll play a game.
Oh,
yeah, we're close.
I like that.
Yeah.
Closest probably anybody.
All right.
Right
This
on.
concludes episode 18 of the Operation Game Night podcast. I have been Clay, or I have been Travis.
You wish, man.
Yes, I was reading names. I am Travis. He is Clay. She is Amanda. He is Jared. He is Tanner. And we're out.
We're out.